Alright, it's the 2025 holiday season and a lot of people are looking to get either themselves or family members into 3D printing, but don't really know where to begin. So in this video, I want to talk about my #1 recommendation for a nice first step into 3D printing budget 3D printer. And my #1 top pick is going to have to be the Elegoo Centauri Carbon. I've absolutely loved this thing. So let's talk about some of the things you get for its low price point. Now, the Elegoo Centauri Carbon comes in at around $300. If you can find it on sale, you can get it maybe a little lower. But right now, I think on Elegoo's website, it's $280 with $30 for shipping, which I still think is an amazing deal for this printer. As for the build volume, this printer comes in at 256 by 256 by 256 millimeter, around 10-inch cubed. Build volume, I think this size is perfect for beginners because it really doesn't take up too much room and you're still able to do things like small helmets on this decent sized printer. Like most modern printers, this does have auto bed leveling, so the nozzle will go around and measure the distance off the bed in every spot so that way it can get a consistent first layer. For me, the auto bed leveling on this printer has been super consistent. I haven't really had many bed adhesion failures that weren't just user error, whether that's me putting in the wrong print settings for the wrong filament or not cleaning the bed properly before using materials that like to warp a lot. This printer comes with a hardened steel 0.4 millimeter nozzle capable of printing up to 320 degrees Celsius. This means that this printer right out of the box is capable of printing in ASA, nylons, and even polycarbonate filaments. That being said, if you are going to go with infused filaments like carbon fiber or glass fused nylons, you will want to upgrade the nozzle to probably a 0.6 millimeter just to avoid clogging. Technically, the 0.4 millimeter is capable of it, but you might have issues with the nozzle getting stopped up and then the print will pause and not really work and you have to buy a new nozzle anyways. Now, this printer also comes with a touchscreen interface, which I really like. They kind of took the Apple route, made it super simple, and I think you have access to everything you need to access out of a touchscreen. You can kind of go through the menus, everything like that, and get all the use you really need out of it. When a print is running, you'll see that it has a status bar. It'll show you the percentage of the print that is done, how much time is left, your temperatures on your nozzle and build plate, and even the inside of the printer, as well as having controls for the lights, the fan, and being able to pause or just completely stop the print too. In the corner close to me, it also has a camera for both monitoring prints and taking time-lapse videos. The only issue with this is that compared to Bamboo or Creality printers where you can kind of watch them from wherever, this one you need to be on the same network as, so you actually can only use it from a computer that's also in your home. While I like the printer, to me that doesn't really make much sense because it's normally going to be near my computer, so why wouldn't I just walk over and look at the print going? Now on this printer, there's another thing that I have kind of mixed feelings about, and that is this filament runout detector. While on this printer it has worked consistently, honestly I've gotten some of the best like print pause to resumes after a reload of filament. The filament runout sensor looks like maybe a newer version of the one that was on the Neptune 4 Max, and if you watch my video on that printer, I had a hard time with it. I have no reason to really believe this one's going to fail. I just trauma from the Neptune 4 Max. Now for another nitpick of mine, and I don't think this is really going to be too much of an issue for most people, but I absolutely love that this has the spool holder on the side of the printer instead of behind it, where you can actually reach. Now, on my print rack, I have all my printers side by side, which means if I have to reach and put a new spool on the back, I have to kind of reach behind and like put my arm around the corner, which is not very convenient. I really like that on this one. I can just take a spool, put it over, slide it on, put it up into the filament detection system, and it works. To me, that's just something I like. To you, that may not be helpful or doesn't really matter. Now the setup for this printer was super simple. It took me about 15 minutes to take it out of the box and set it up and have my first print going. I think I could have gotten that down to 10 minutes had I not been filming at the time. Honestly, I think that's how most printers should be nowadays. They've gotten to the point where it is just set it up, watch it go, and I love that that is the direction 3D printing is going. But this is one of those printers that you take out of the box, send a print to, and it just starts printing. Now the first print that I did off this printer when I first got it was this little Eiffel Tower print. And this thing ended up amazing. I was honestly really shocked by the quality off this printer. For $300, I was getting the same quality that my Bamboos at the time, which were $600, were getting, and it absolutely blew my mind. You can see there are a couple imperfections on it, but I think my Bamboos would have had the same issues, and honestly, this just came out amazing for a first print. I've also sent a bunch of my own files, my own things, and honestly, a lot of my new project has been printed on this machine, but you'll have to like and subscribe to see that one. I will say that I have had some failed prints off this printer, but I would say about 99% of those were user error. Whether that's me forgetting to turn on supports, whether that is me forgetting to clean the bed, or just hoping for the best when I send a print. A lot of the time it was my fault and not really the printer's, so I would say this thing is extremely reliable. Now, before you rush to buy one of these printers, there are a couple caveats I have with it, and I don't want to leave you with just the good opinions. Elegoo Slicer, I can't really recommend whether it's good or bad. I've used it once or twice, it's worked both times, but personally, I don't have enough use on it to feel like I can tell you whether or not it's good. Personally, I use Orca Slicer, and that allows me to use basically whatever printer I need to at the moment off the same project. If this is going to be your only printer, I don't think you'll have an issue with Elegoo Slicer though. I know another big reason that people like the Bamboo printers or the Creality printers right now is their Maker World, and I don't remember what, I think it's Creality World maybe, or something like that, where you can just go on your phone, look at prints, download them, send them to your printer. Elegoo does not have something like that at the moment. I'm pretty sure I saw something about them planning to do something similar. But right now I haven't seen that, and I don't know if it's going to be supported on this printer, so I cannot say whether or not that will be happening. Another reason a lot of people have talked badly about this printer is that it does not have a multi-material capability like was promised by Elegoo when it first released. Personally, it's not a big deal to me. I don't really use multi-material. I don't use multicolor because I print most of the stuff I paint. I paint most of the stuff that I print. And another small thing with this printer just to know of before you buy one is it creates what we call poop. And by that I mean it primes its nozzle at the start of a print, and it's going to go over its little poop chute, extrude some filament, and it will drop out of the back of the printer. You just need to have some sort of small box behind it, something like that, to catch the poop and then be able to toss it so it doesn't just go everywhere behind the printer. That's not really too big of a deal. Most modern printers have this poop chute. They've kind of copied Bamboo, and now every printer makes poop. To kind of wrap things up, I do absolutely love this printer. It's been an absolute workhorse among my other 3D printers. Any print I can, I send to this thing. Honestly, at the price, I think it is immaculate. I think whoever decided on the price at Elegoo is an absolute saint for bringing this to $300. That being said, you're going to be investing your money in this and maybe giving it to someone else. Watch other review videos. Don't just take my word for it. Form your own opinion and see what you think of it. Personally, I love this printer. I know a lot of people have had bad experiences with some printers. They may have had a bad experience with this one, and I just happen to have a good experience with it. I also want to say that this is not a paid video. I wish anyone would pay me for any of my videos, but we'll get there when we get there. I bought this with my own money. I personally thought it was a great use of my money because I've gotten a lot of parts off of it. But overall, like I said, check other people out, see what they think of different printers, and try and make the best decision that you can for yourself. If you want to see what kind of projects these 3D printers are capable of, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I have one coming up that was actually mostly printed on this Elegoo Centauri Carbon. That is just absolutely insane, mostly 3D printed, and is going to be just amazing when it's finished. That's about it for this video, guys. If you have any questions about this 3D printer, if you have any questions about 3D printers in general, please ask them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer all of them. And subscribe.